Hello, guys, and welcome to another edition of All NBA 24/7. I'm your host, Rishi Kapoor. On tonight's episode 37, I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts on my favorite player, Vince Carter, signing with the Atlanta Hawks. So, first of all, when I heard this news, I obviously was sad because I was, hoping that he'd go to my favorite team, the Toronto Raptors. Because I felt that it would be only right. I wanted him to end his last season, which is likely to be his last season. He said that 90%, there's a 90% chance that he will retire after this season. But I wanted him to spend his last season in Toronto, where it all started, and everybody knows obviously how it ended. So I wanted him to, come to Toronto just to, have like a storybook ending, a new, beginning, and just play for the franchise again. And it's just like, I'm still happy that he's going to be in the NBA. And I'm going to keep up with every game, obviously, that he plays from game one to game 82. I'm obviously looking to go to the game when he comes to Toronto. I believe it is on January 3rd as a member of the Atlanta Hawks. Um, but yeah, I did want to. I either wanted him to go to the Raptors or I wanted him to go to a contender. Well, I know the Raptors are a contender, but I want him to either go to Raptors or like another contending team. But obviously, Atlanta's not a contending team. I mean, they're a team, a rebuilding team. A team that's building with young pieces. Obviously, they got a great piece in Trae Young, a young piece that they can build around. But yeah, I wanted Vince to be on the Raptors or on a different contender. Um, but primarily the Raptors because the Raptors are a contending team in the East, right? So it makes sense both ways. He could have came and played for the franchise that he started his career with, plus, have a great chance at possibly winning a championship. And I feel like it would have been a great move for both sides because he would have been a great veteran presence in the locker room. Still can play the game. He would have, brought more people out to the arena, right, and sold out more tickets, in my opinion, because people would come to the arena and say, hey, I want to see Vince Carter play one last time. He's been my favorite player for quite some time, like he is to me. So, I feel like it would have worked on both sides. I don't know if Masai Ujiri offered him a contract. He did take the veterans minimum with the Atlanta Hawks, but it was reported last year um, that the Raptors did offer him a contract, but then he chose Sacramento instead, obviously because he got more money with Sacramento. I understand that. He was making $8 million last year, and he's not gonna, obviously with what stage he's at in his career right now, right? He won't be seeing that kind of money, right? Like it will be the veterans minimum. So, but yeah, I just wanted him to play for the Raptors, but I understand his move and going to Atlanta. A lot of people questioned it, being like, "Hey, you're on the near the end of your career. Why don't you want to be on a contender?" But he did say that, I don't want to just sit at the end of the bench and barely play any minutes and just ride the coattails of the superstars to a ring and ring chase because he's like, that's not how it was done back in his day. And I understand that, but I believe that even if Vince was on a contender, he would get solid minutes. He would play. I mean, he wouldn't, sit on the bench and not play. I believe that he would get just as many minutes on a contender that he would on a non-contender, So because he did say the same thing going to Sacramento last year, and there were games where David Yorger did not play him, which I didn't understand, and Vince averaged about 16, 17 minutes last year, and I believe that he would average the same amount of minutes on a contender, but I guess he wants to have an impact on the team, but I believe that he would have an impact on the team regardless. But I guess to him it's like, hey, I wasn't able to win a ring in my prime, being the leader of a team, and I'm not gonna now as a role player just hop on different contenders and bring chase. And you gotta respect that, because that's unseen nowadays with all these all stars. I mean, God damn it, DeMarcus Cousins is going to Golden State in his prime and signing for $5 million to go and ring chase, basically. Um, but I mean, I understand when a player does it near the end of their career, like for example, Karl Malone and Gary Payton going to the Lakers back in the day near the end of their career. but never like a player in their prime, right? Going to join other players in their prime to go and win a ring. I never understood. I'm more of the old school era, the Vince era, where hey, I'm the leader of my team, the leader of your team. Okay, let's go at it instead of joining forces. But yeah, so I understand Vince's move. You never know. I mean, the East is weak. You know, other than the top four, or actually the top three with the Raptors, Celtics, and Philly. I mean, everybody else is just up in the air, so you never know what the Atlanta Hawks can do. I mean, this team a couple years ago won 60 games, right? But obviously it's not the same team, but we'll see what happens. But I'm just happy that he didn't retire. I'm happy he's playing another year in the NBA. And in my opinion, he should come back another year actually and play, because if he does come back another year, it will be his 22nd season, which has never been done in the NBA before. So him playing next year will be his 21st season, and he will be tied with Dirk Nowitzki, Kevin Garnett, and Kevin Willis for having played the most seasons in the NBA. And he's played the most seasons by guard, because all the other ones are power forwards and centers. And centers. So and a lot of people probably didn't know that Vince would last this long, with, them saying he had jumper's knee and him being a high flyer, this and that, and the damage to his knee. So he's just done one of the most incredible transformations of being a superstar to a role player, that I've ever seen and quite possibly have seen. So now he focuses obviously on the three-point ball. He can dunk from time to time, and drive it to the basket, so he still has game left, and still can have an impact. I mean, last season he had a great game where he scored about 24, 25 points against the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? So he can have those kinds of games and still play at a high level. But um, in my opinion, he should come back next year, right? Because hey, he'll do something that's never been done before. He should come back and play for the Raptors and end it off where it all started. But he will retire as a Raptor. I mean, if it doesn't happen next season, I can see him doing a Paul Pierce and signing a one-day contract and retiring as a Raptor. He's going to go in the Hall of Fame as a Raptor, and in my opinion, he's the greatest Raptor of all time. But yeah, I look forward to seeing him in a Atlanta Hawks uniform. I'm gonna try to watch every game. So any great games that he has this year, I will be definitely making videos on it. And he will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. And what's awesome is the fact that if him, Dirk, and Dwayne Wade all retire after this season, I mean, Dwayne Wade said for sure, but if Dirk and Vince join him, they will all be in the same Hall of Fame class, which would be awesome. So, yeah, so I mean, he's had a great career, and I look forward to watching all his games with the Hawks. So, thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know if you agree with Vince's move going to Atlanta and his whole, and him saying he doesn't want to ring chase, how it's not done back in his day. Let me know what you guys think about that, and possibly like your favorite memories of Vince, and whether or not you think he should return next season. Let me know all that in the comment section below, guys. I look forward to reading your comments. And yeah, continue to like, comment, and subscribe on my videos. I got a lot more videos coming through, guys. The NBA season's almost upon us, so exciting times. And yeah, so stay tuned, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.